Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me in the YouTube algorithm, my name is Quanda Renee. I am an organic marketing strategist. That's just a fancy way to say I help people get visibility, I help people go viral, and I help people make money online by selling their services and products without paying for ads. Very, very simple. That's just a cute way to say it. In today's video, I want to show you how I made over $100,000 selling this one financial breakthrough journal. So stay tuned and let's get into it. All right, so we're back and I want to talk today about how I made $100,000 from this $20 journal. So let me say, before we get into, all the things that I did, I want to say this. I was at a place in my life where my finances were all jacked up. I was laid off, broke, busted, disgusted, had to go back home and sleep on my parents' couch. During that time, my finances were all over the place. I was late paying credit cards or not paying them at all. My car was getting ready to be repossessed. It was just a lot going on. It was like once I got laid off, I had to try to figure out what was next. I was trying to figure out how to recover. But during that time, that is when the Lord was showing me how to break the spirit of poverty and lack off of my life, how to grow in my finances, how to generate revenue. So during that season, that was birthing out this journal, and I didn't even know it. The same with you. If you think about something you survived, you think about something you've overcome, now is the time where you take that thing, you package it, and you offer it to somebody else for a fee, and you sell your products, you sell your services, right? So if you survived a heartbreak, if you survived a loss, if you survived being homeless or something like that, you've overcome that. All you have to do is package what you went through and give it to somebody else. One of the greatest things my bishop said to me during the pandemic is he said, your pain will produce profits. I'll say that one more time for the people in the back. Your pain will produce profits. I never thought going through that hard situation when I was going through it, having to leave my own home to go back and live with my parents, I never knew that that was going to be something to help me make over $100,000, right? When you're going through the hard situation, when you're going through those times, it doesn't feel like anything is happening. It doesn't feel like this is the move. It doesn't feel like anything is going to happen out of it. But God is literally allowing you to identify what's in your house. We could go to 2 Kings chapter 4. The widow woman, right? She was getting ready, her kids are getting ready to be sold into slavery. And so she needed to find a way to stop this thing from happening, right? So she didn't go in her prayer closet, which I think is a great point right there, because some people literally sit in their prayer closet all day and all night and don't get strategy and don't move. She didn't go to her prayer closet. She went to a man who had wisdom. She goes to him, she tells him the story, and he asks her a very simple question. What's in your house? I want to ask you that today. What is in your house? So then he says to her, she answers and she says, nothing much but some oil. She minimized the very thing that God was going to use to change the trajectory of her life. So what Elisha tells her to do, he says, go borrow some vessels, not just a few. And then I want you to begin to pour the oil. So she follows the instructions of what Elisha to do. And the only reason why the oil stopped is because she ran out of the capacity. Your oil is you going through that divorce, you going through that heartbreak, you overcoming cancer, you overcoming whatever you've been through. That is the oil. But that oil has to be poured, right? It has to be poured. So she goes back to Elijah because part A of the miracle was now she poured, right? But there's still no money in that. She goes back to Elijah and he gives her instructions. He says, this is what I need you to do. I need you to sell this oil, pay off your debts, and live off the rest. Some of you, the key to your next level, the key to you going to another place in your finances, the key to you going to another place in your business is you have to pour the oil, right? So let me tell you how I turned my story of being broke, busted, disgusted into a strategy and ended up making money. So one of the first things I had to do was I had to document the details, right, of what helped me get the breakthrough. So this is what you need to do too. Document the details of what helped you get the breakthrough, right? And then number two, create a framework from your prayers, your declarations, your strategies, whatever it is, create a framework on how somebody else can duplicate the same thing that you did. When I was talking about this journal, in the journal, I literally talked about how I had to repent. I gave a repentance prayer, right? I gave different prayers that I had to pray when I was breaking that, fighting that spirit of lack and poverty. Then number three, you want to just design something very simple. It did not take me long to go in Canva and create this financial breakthrough journal, because all it was taking the things that I already have and putting it into something very simple like a PDF, right? You don't even have to start with something big and fancy. You can literally go in a platform like Canva, or you can find an AI tool that'll generate it all for you. You just give it the information, right? And then number four, right? Once I created the PDF, I had to start sharing my story, right? I had to start sharing my story of how this is not just another product, right? This is a journal if you are believing for a financial breakthrough. If you need to go to another place in your finances. So I had to go on social media. I had to, send out emails, whatever I had to do to get the story out, and then to offer people the product, to offer people the offering of this journal, saying within 21 days, this journal is going to help you break the spirit of poverty and lack off of your life. It's going to teach you how to pray about your finances. It's going to show you not to be begging God for money. You don't have to beg. All you have to do is remember who you are in Him. And then, of course, you do lives, you do reels, you do emails, you do Pinterest, you do social media, right? And it's all going to point people back to the oil in my story. And all of that is what built trust. All of that is what built trust, where people now want to know more about my story. So I can go live and I can talk about how I was broke, busted, disgusted. And this is the strategy that I used, right? And then I can give people the invitation. I can say, hey, if you're going through some of the things that I went through in the past, get this journal. This journal is going to transform your mind, your thinking. And in the next 21 days, you're going to start to see different things happen in your finances. You're going to start to see your words change. It's very, very simple. I literally documented everything that I went through when I went through that hard time. I packaged it and turned it into a PDF. I took that PDF and began to make content talking about how, my finances changed and the things that I did. And then I invited people, if you need a transformation in your finances, here, get this journal. Very, very simple. I'm telling you, y'all. And I ended up making $100,000. No ads. It was just me showing up on TikTok for months, showing up on TikTok, creating videos, going live, talking to different people. When people would inbox me different things, I would say, hey, if you want to break the spirit of poverty and lack off your life, check out this journal, inviting people, letting people know that I understand what it's like to have to lose everything that you have, go back home with your parents, be humiliated. But I also know what it's like to come on the other side of that. And I literally did that, showed up, did the work, and made over $100,000 doing it. You have to package what you have, identify the oil, package what you have, and get it out into the world. I didn't have any ads. All I did was kept showing up. All I did was kept talking about the transformation that this journal is going to bring. And I literally made over $100,000. And I just gave you a blueprint to help you make over $100,000. June the 13th, I'm going to be going deeper in how you can monetize your testimony, the very things that you've been through, the oil that needs to be poured. I'm going to give you framework. I'm going to give you ideas on how you can make money just by telling your story. Every time I tell my testimony of how I was broke, busted, disgusted, in some shape or form, I'm making money from it. Whether it be somebody invites me to a speaking engagement, I wrote books. Whether it be somebody inviting me to their podcast, I've been on TV before, all of this stuff. And it wouldn't have happened unless I told my story, told my testimony. So I'm inviting you to a live Zoom class, a live masterclass, all about monetizing your story, monetizing your testimony. It's going to be June the 13th, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm literally going to walk you through how you can make money from just telling your story, right? If you're interested, make sure you go to the link in the description. I'm literally going to give you all of the tea and really, really help you. Make sure, y'all, you like and subscribe If you want to know more about building a business with God, we're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about that intimacy with God, prayer life required, and all of those things here on YouTube. So if you are interested in that, if you're a Christian entrepreneur, if you're a Christian influencer, and you know that you want to incorporate God in your business, and you also want to make sales and generate more revenue, make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment, engage, because this is what this channel is all going to be about. We're going to form a community of helping other believers and letting you know that you too can be successful. You too can use this social media to get more exposure, to get visibility, and to get sales, and to create your products and services. So love y'all with the love of the Lord. And to the next video, remember, your pain will produce profits. See you soon.